Gal Gohan, one of the greatest, if not the greatest Garu manga that I have ever read. It sits at the top of the Gal tier list, and for good reason. It's one of the only manga that I have the full collection of. I don't even have the full collection of Nagatoro, and you guys know how much I love that series. It's the first Garu manga that I ever read. But is the reason why I hold the series in such high regard just because I read it first? Is it actually a good series that stands on its own two legs? Or am I fabricating just how good it actually is? Hey y'all, it's Broken, and welcome back to the channel. If you haven't guessed already, we're going to be talking about the manga that is as delightful as it is delicious, Gal Gohan.
Man, you corny!
It holds a special place in my heart. It was one of the first manga that I picked up when I really started getting into manga collecting. But is the series as good as I remember? Or is it kind of just nostalgia and favoritism? Grab a snack because this review is gonna be a treat.
You corny!
So what exactly is Gal Gohan? The title literally translates to Gal Meal or Garu Meal, which pretty much sums up the core concept of the series. Our story revolves around Shinji Yabi, a young high school home ec teacher. He's passionate about cooking, but he's having a hard time connecting with his students. Enter Miku, a flashy, carefree high school Garu who's struggling academically. She's at the point where she might not even graduate. The principal told her to make some cookies to soften up the teachers to give her a passing grade. So she came to the home ec teacher for assistance. He agrees to help and they get to cooking. On her first attempt, she really screws up the cookies. To the point to where Shinji's like, yo, don't worry about it, I'll make the cookies for you, which hurts Miku's feelings. This is what the teachers always do. Even when she's trying to put forth an effort, they'll just brush her to the side so they don't have to deal with her. He realizes that he hurt her feelings and that he's failing her as a teacher. So he tells her that they'll work together and make a new batch. This time, they come out perfect. Seeing her smile reminds him why he became a teacher in the first place and gives him an idea on what he can do to connect with his other students. So he starts a cooking club. Miku ended up developing a schoolgirl crush on him and ends up becoming his first and only member. What begins as a simple Garu teasing manga quickly turns into a heartwarming journey of self-discovery with a hint of romantic tension. The heart of Gal Gohan truly lies with its characters. Let's start with Miku. She's a textbook Garu. If you were to look up Garu in the dictionary, you would see her face. Dyed hair, flashy clothes, and a bubbly personality. But underneath it all, she's a bit insecure and just wants someone to believe in her. Her development is one of the strongest parts of the series. Shinji is an earnest, good-hearted teacher, but he's dense. When Miku teases him, he thinks it's just her being a cheeky gal and doesn't realize that she actually has a crush on him until a little later on in the series. Well, he's not just dense with Miku, it's with pretty much anyone that shows any kind of romantic interest in him. I'm sure a lot of us can relate. Their dynamic is really sweet. They care for each other. Like one day when he's feeling overworked, she whips him up a pot of food. There's also the student council member, Fujiwara. She's your typical uptight girl who's all about following the rules. She starts off as an antagonist, trying to get the club shut down, but she quickly comes around and ends up becoming an integral character later on in the series. There's also Miku's friends who show up every once in a while, and it's always a good time when they do. There's also the new teacher who shows up later on, who acts as a potential love interest for Shinji. She's also a solid addition to the series. Let's get into what I liked. If you haven't guessed, I love the characters, but I've already talked about them enough. The manga can be pretty funny. Just in the first volume, we get Miku teasing Shinji in various ways. We get to see Miku's friends teasing her. We get to see Shinji dealing with her gal antics, and so on. Surprisingly, the emotional moments are done extremely well, especially around volumes 8 and 9. That's when the manga really locks in on its emotional beats. The manga can be really sweet. I always looked forward to those moments. I'm glad that the cooking part of the series takes a back seat to the main story and its characters. The cooking aspect is just a vehicle to tell the story. It's used the right amount. It's never really the focus, and I'm thankful for that. I'll tell you now, no spoilers, but the ending is really good. A tiny bit rushed, which we'll touch on later, but overall, a satisfying ending. I also love the art style. Visually, Gal Gohan is clean and expressive. Miku's design is iconic. She pops off the page with energy and style. I appreciate the author putting her in a bunch of different outfits. The paneling is straightforward, which helps with the pacing. It's easy to read and the comedic timing is spot on. There's a lot of visual humor, especially in Miku's reactions and Shinji's flustered moments. The cherry on top is the fan service, which I've actively been avoiding showing. It's magnificent. I'll touch on the fan service elements a little more a little later. And hey, if you're enjoying the video, please like and subscribe. It lets me know to do more videos like this. Now let's get into the negatives. Let's go ahead and tackle the elephant in the room, which is the age difference between Miku and Shinji. I'm here to report that it's handled with maturity. He's constantly maintaining a healthy boundary between him and Miku. But of course, she's the one who's always trying to push said boundary. No spoilers, but let's just say that things are handled by the book. But that doesn't dismiss the fact that it's weird even if it's fiction. Instead of making Shinji a teacher, they could have easily made him an upperclassman. You know, someone who's a grade above Miku. Doing that would barely change anything about the story. I mean, you would have to make a few tweaks here and there, but nothing crazy. Like, instead of him being a teacher who wants to connect with his students, make him a student who wants to make friends, so he starts a cooking club. See how easy that was not to make it weird? My only other real complaint is, I wish there was more. Or to be more precise, it's a bit rushed towards the end. It's not terribly rushed, but it is noticeable. Like, it feels like there should have been at least one more volume. Like the manga completely skips her senior year, we don't get to see much of her college years, and so on. One more volume would have really helped with the pacing towards the end. At its core, Gal Gohan is about connection. Miku finds a sense of purpose through cooking, and Shinji finds a fulfillment in helping his students grow. He doesn't just help Miku, he does help his other students. In the beginning, she's just dismissed as just a gal, even by Shinji. But she's able to prove that she's more than meets the eye. The manga explores mentorship, self-worth, and the idea that people aren't always as they seem. There's a strong slice of life vibe, the cooking scenes are cozy, and there are several moments of emotional growth. The series doesn't shy away from showing the small tender moments that make the relationships feel real and authentic. It's truly a feel-good manga. There is fan service, it's ecchi, but it never really feels exploitative. Primarily because the comedy really helps balance it out, and the emotional beats of the story keep it grounded. If you're worried about it being just another fan service series with no substance, don't be, it has heart. Again, I really like the art style, the characters, the emotional moments, the sweet moments, the comedy, and so on. My only real negatives are the age thing and the pacing towards the end. Overall, Gal Gohan manages to be more than the sum of its parts. It's not just a rom-com with a garu, it's about growth and self-discovery. It's a fantastic palate cleanser if you've been reading something heavy. I'll give it 4.5 stars out of 5. So, should you read Gal Gohan? Well, if you're looking for something heartwarming, often hilarious, and a surprisingly insightful series about food, self-discovery, a dash of romance with a garu twist, then the answer is a definite yes. Miku is one of the most endearing garu characters that I've come across. There's no doubt in my mind that this series deserves to be at the top of the garu tier list. Even though there are some questionable things about the manga, I still love it. So have you read Gal Gohan? Do you plan on to? Please leave your comments down below. And if you liked this video, like the video. And if you like me, subscribe to me. And as always, this has been Broken, and I'll catch y'all next time.